Kids in crisis. When families in Central Ohio go through a stressful situation, it's not unusual to see a child stuck in the middle. So Franklin County Children's Services often steps in to create that safe, secure, and positive environment until things get sorted out. So we're going to learn more about just how they do that. We've got Chuck Cochran with us, as well as Doris Jones and Allison Rickman. So thank you all for being here today. All right, Chuck, let's discuss the initial need. You have this crisis center. Talk about the program and kind of when you decided this needed to happen here in Franklin County.
So the Crisis Center program was actually developed in the 1980s when the community had approached our agency and wanted a way to support children and families in a way that was in a different capacity than our traditional mentoring programs, which build one-to-one relationships. And so subsequently our Crisis Center program was developed to support our intake and investigation staff who are dealing with children and families who are in the midst of that crisis.
And it's, as you're the volunteer coordinator then, how do you go about finding the people that would fit as a volunteer here in the Crisis Center?
These are people that approach our agency and indicate that they're interested in having an opportunity to serve as a Crisis Center volunteer and are not looking for that one-to-one relationship, but want an opportunity to support children and families.
Yeah, to help the kids. I feel like a lot of people, have that in them, have that in their heart. So it's good to see. Doris, what are some of the circumstances, would you say, that bring children into the Crisis Center to begin with?
Well, first of all, most of the children are abused as far as a lack of food, shelter, medical care, adults doing sexual things to them, and just overall parents really not doing the things that they should do for their children. And so a lot of kids come in there with some terrible things, as far as the sexual, the beatings and different things, scars. They go through so much trauma. So
then, yeah, as somebody in the Crisis Center, you're dealing with their trauma at the same time, right? I mean, that has to be so difficult to just kind of have these kids come in with so much on their plate, so much in their minds. So what is it that you then do when the child comes in?
The first thing I do is just make sure that they are safe, tell them that they are safe and comfortable. I'll make sure that they are fed, give them plenty of love, and some of the children miss their parents and be crying and different things. And so I take my time and just go up to them. Can I touch you? Can I hold you? And then after that, and stuff, they'll just, kind of melt into your arms because they need love.
Yeah.
Right. All they need is just somebody to say, listen, I love you and you're safe.
You're safe.
And that's what I do. And then and stuff like my co-workers, they say, oh, Doris, the children just come in and they just, have a peace and a calm. What's your secret? I said, I have the grandma love.
And that is exactly what they're looking for. It seems so simple, but yet something they strive for because they're not getting. So, Allison, as you've been a volunteer now, you said for over a year, what are some of the experiences and the realities, I guess, of being a volunteer at such a difficult time?
I think one of the realities is you're going to impact this child whether they remember it or not, because like Doris said, you're giving them that calm, loving environment, which could be as easy as just saying, hi, I'm Allison. If you need anything, let me know. And when a child says, hey, Allison, where's the bathroom? It seems really inconsequential, but they've just asked you something, to help them. So they're warming up, they're opening up, they're kind of, they're coming out of their shell, and many of them do. They retreat into themselves because it is so difficult, and they get angry, they get upset, like Doris said. So just knowing that you're kind of impacting them, whether you realize it or not, is really it's really strong.
Yeah, definitely. Even just explaining that. And we look at, some of the photos of the Crisis Center, and it's a room for them to play in, to be in, right? To kind of just be a kid, which is something they're not getting a lot of times. So what has been, would you say, the most memorable activity? Do you guys do something that really makes you proud?
Yeah, for me, it was actually a teen. So they're not even back in that playroom with the younger kids, but they have some rooms up in the front of the center where they can just kind of relax and hang out. And it was right after Christmas time. We had some leftover board games. I taught, I think she was 15 or 16 years old, how to play Clue, which was my favorite board game as a kid.
Yeah.
So that was super fun for me because I was like, in my mind, I was like, you've never played Clue before. But then I got to share that and I got to just kind of hang out with her and give her someone to talk to for a while she was at the center. And that's something I really
kind of stuck
enjoy.
with you.
Yeah.
I'm sure stuck with her as well, because those kind of seemingly meaningless things to some of us that we take for granted as a child, they have not had that experience. So it's cool probably to be able to kind of feel like you're teaching them something
Yeah, absolutely.
that they missed out on maybe. All right, so then Charles, the Crisis Center, where are you guys located? What if somebody's interested in volunteering? How do they go about doing that?
So the Crisis Center is located at 4071 East Main Street. They can either go to the Franklin County Children's Services website and scroll down to volunteers, or they can call 275-2690 and do a phone reach out over the phone, and we will get them matched as a Crisis Center volunteer. The orientation and training process is the same as all of our other mentoring programs, and so that's kind of the process to become a Crisis Center volunteer.
So if you've got some love to give, some hugs to give, right,
Yes.
then it's absolutely a great experience. There's kids out there that need you. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you.